How long does this stuff usually take to... Oh, by Dimple's rusty hammer! He rasped, voice raw, eyes bulging. Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to my vocal cords suddenly sounding weird. At least to my ears, they did. They were fine, and then I cleared my throat, and the act of doing that, just as I was starting up the webcam, of course, coated my vocal cords and made them sound different. Thumbs up for that. Good morning. It is a brand new day. It is dark outside, daylight savings, thumbs up for that, but it is 7:13, and as the Earth continues to spin around the sun with our axis at an angle, it's going to get brighter and brighter in the morning as time goes by. Thumbs up for that. Last night, I got lazy, and I am really having to fight this, and I don't like it, but it's really hard to force my... Amelia, what are you doing? Amelia, stop making noise. My kitty cat. It's getting harder and harder to force myself to get up and go out and go walkies. I can do it. I mean, I have, and I continue to, but last night I didn't go. And that bothers me. I need to go at least 5 nights a week, not 4 or 3. Not now when I'm struggling to keep my weight down. Not now when I'm not using my hand exercisers or my dumbbell anymore. I need to get better again. Oh boy, thumbs up for that. Still, it's a slow process. You know, it didn't take 2 days to get in the boat I am now. It's not going to take 2 days to get out of the situation. I just got to reverse course and then wait. Human nature. Thumbs up for that. Now, I did have a thing here with topics, but I don't really have any topics, so I just have to ramble off the top of my head. One of the things I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to read some fiction that I'm working on. First draft, so it's, terrible. But it's the idea, because I was walking along, going up to Walmart. I'm just explaining how I came up with this. I have a subreddit reading reaction series that I'm doing now. I'm up to 21 different subreddits I've gone through and laughed and cringed and gone, oh my god, at various things. There's one subreddit that I actually wanted to talk about this, so I'm glad that I am. It's called Bone Hurting Juice. And the subreddit Bone Hurting Juice is an anti-humor subreddit. Now, a lot of memes, a lot of things that people do now has like a real strong Dada and surrealist take on humor and memes and all that, and that it's directly, the stuff is funny because it's so not funny. It's amusing because it makes no sense. It's funny because it's not funny. And sometimes the not funnier they are, the more hysterical they are because of that. Now, Bone Hurting Juice, a lot of what people do is they just take normal comic strips, take out the words, and then put in new things. But they're not funny. They're anti-funny. It's like there's one that like effectively started the whole thing, is a picture of Pooh Bear talking to Tigger, and it's just shots of, poorly drawn Tigger, poorly drawn Pooh Bear and all that, but he's, Tigger says, don't drink that, that's bone-hurting juice. And then so Pooh Bear drinks the bone-hurting juice, and then ends up the comic strip going, oh wow, my bones really hurt. Well, yeah, he drank the bone-hurting juice. And so it's anti-humor. And you have to really be into anti-humor. Stuff that's funny because it's not funny. To really get into that kind of subreddit. Now, I flip onto weird concepts and ideas and come up with ideas for stories just at the drop of a hat when I'm working in the middle of something deep and heavy and really grinding on it, I'll just stumble over words, go, oh, that sounds interesting, and then blonk onto that and then make something out of that instead of this big thing I've been working on. So I decided that what would have to happen is a fantasy story. Now, this is only half of the first draft. I'm amazed I was able to write this much. I wrote until I physically got too tired to be able to lean forward and tap on the keyboard as I did it. But the idea being bone-hurting juice. Who would make actual bone-hurting juice? Like in a fantasy story, you go into a magic shop and you find bone-hurting juice. Why? And so, excuse me, I am going to read the beginning part, my first half of my first draft of the bone-hurting juice story. Remember, first draft, so my apologies. Scarback, the stocky Elvandar, held the glinting bottle filled with a viscous red liquid to a candle so he could see it better as he read the script on the label. Bone-hurting juice, he said slowly. Aside from the obvious, how would I use this? Put it on a blade or an arrow? He looked to the clerk. Oh no, said the clerk with a shake of her head. It's a potion, not a topical. Miliandar, the wiry Dwaylen, bent slightly to see the potion held in the Vandar's hands. So if I drink it, then I can make people's bones hurt. No, not unless you get them to drink it too. You have to drink the potion to make it work, and it makes every bone in your body ache horribly for 8 to 12 hours. Ilchenka, the undead and fleshless woman from the Calendris, looked up from her perusing scrolls on a shelf. How much do you have to drink? Disguise a few drops in a mug of beer, perhaps? No, you have to drink the entire potion. This is easily 2 cups of liquid, said Scarback as he popped the cork from the bottle, sniffing the contents. Oh, this is sweet-smelling, like candy. Miliandar ducked his head and sniffed as well, smiling at the pleasant scent. And it's cheap too, said Ilchenka as she looked to the rack of bottles, each filled with bone-hurting juice. Only 10 silver crowns. You spend twice that on the cheap ale you swill. You aren't going to, are you? Asked Miliandar, eyebrows arching. I recognize that look in your eye, you wandering lunatic. Scarbat dug a crown from his coin purse with his thick, stubby fingers, flipping it to the clerk casually. Bottoms up, he said, and then, in several thick swallows, downed the entire potion. The clerk's eyebrows, climbed into her hairline. How long does this stuff usually take to— Oh, by Dimple's rusty hammer! He rasped, voice raw, eyes bulging. He stared at his hands for a moment, muscles tight before falling to the ground like a short but heavy tree. Every bone in my body hurts, he groaned. I can feel every bone in my head aching. How much does the antidote cost? Asked Miliander as he stared down at the panting Vandar. There is no antidote, said the young woman. Nothing but time, 8 to 12 hours. He just has to wait it out. It is a world of agony inside me, gasped Scarbat. I never knew I had this many bones inside me, and they all hurt. Do many people buy this stuff? Asked Ilchenka, staring at the bottle held in her bony hands. It's actually our best-selling potion, said the clerk with a smile. This is our second batch today. The only thing that makes this worthwhile, grunted Scarbat as he sweated out his agony on the floor, is knowing of us three. It was best I drank it. This agony is too much for a dwelling, Meleander. You couldn't survive this. His jaw muscles were strings of iron as he spoke, testimony to his will. Meleander reached out a thin-fingered hand and picked up a bottle of the viscous liquid. He looked at the label, then looked down at his friend, writhing in agony on the wooden floor of the shop. He flicked the clerk a coin, popped the cork, and downed the liquid inside. He smiled for a second when done. This tastes really nice, like by the stars in heaven, he gasped as he collapsed to the oak plank floor. It feels like my bones are on fire. The thick crystal bottle rolled under a counter as he struggled to contain the fire within him. Oh, fire, lad, coughed Scarbat. Fire would be a mercy at this point. Never have I felt this much pain. Pain, said Meleander through gritted teeth. Pain doesn't begin to explain this. This is worse than torture. Scarbat grunted his laughter and his limbs shook in sheer animal agony. I'd trade this out for simple torture any day of the week, lad. And so that's the story that I've been working on. Oh, hope you smokes. Here, you get to hear my speakers. They're starting to hum because I had to charge them.
Power off.
Yeah.
Power off.
I wish my speakers didn't talk to me. But long story short, on the story, Ilchenka, of course, looking down at her friends, asked the clerk if this stuff works on the undead, and she ends up downing a bottle, and she's going, will this hurt? I cannot believe this is, I know my law! And she, all three of them, down on the ground in agony from drinking bone-hurting juice. And they all do it voluntarily, because though they're the main characters, they're also idiots, which are the most relatable kind of character, I think. Thumbs up for that. So thank you if you actually paid attention to that and listened. That is very awesome. I do appreciate that. I wouldn't be surprised if I got even fewer views once people realize that I'm doing that. But life is life. I do appreciate the fact that you did that. Now, I am going to show this, because down in this cage, when I say show this, what I mean is show her. I have had people in the comments say, why don't you show your hamsters anymore? And though I know they aren't going to watch this still, in fact, I might as well even come over here. Even though those people aren't going to watch this, I do show off my hamsters as much as I can, but they have to be awake. I respect now, after learning through decades and years, I respect their bodily autonomy too much to just wake them up if they're sleeping, especially since when they are sleeping inside of their nest. Now I'm going to put her back. And their nest is their home. And their home needs to be a safe place. And I do not want to make them feel not safe. So I don't show them off if they're sleeping. And I don't show them off if they're just in their home if I can't get them to come out. So I'd love to show them off more. Well, I've got all this carbon dioxide wanting to come out. My apologies. And I will. It's just they have to be awake. So, oh, my back is just really hurting. So not too much flipping around and stuff. But my hamsters are all still doing well. Even little Thigmo, he's still running around. He's bony. So he must have some horrible underlying thing because of the big patch of hair loss on his back. So probably like Cushing's disease, apparently very common. I partly mentioned, I think, about how it was like the 1930s when they discovered hamsters and discovered what they were. They took archaeological samples from Syria, brought them to the United States, and then discovered that there were hamsters in it, a previously unknown type of rodent. And then they started breeding them, and then, of course, they brought in more hamsters from other places, so there's more genetics, but they used them primarily as lab animals. And unfortunately, what they would do was breed genetic problems into them, like Cushing's, like diabetes, like more. And then they would try to treat those issues in the labs. Problem is, they would take their excess animals and give them to pet stores. So they bred in all these genetic issues and then just disseminated them out into the general public. So many of the hamsters out there have genetic problems deliberately introduced for laboratory use. And that's why so many times you may get a nice, young, happy, friendly hamster, and then you wake up one day and they're gone, and you don't know why. It is sad. And, might as well do this part. I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. Right now, I'm just thanking you for having left me a comment. Good comment, bad comment, indifferent comment. The fact is, he took the time, he expended the calories, took the time. Thank you so very, very much. Later on, I'm going to read the comments, thumbs up each one I do, answer as many as I can, but for right now, just thank you so very, very much. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, we're just not good at that. And of course, with my fibro, my alcoholism, I've been sober for 20 years, but I have done brain damage, and it's hard for me to remember that even though when I count in American Sign Language, that I'm probably going to get lost. It happens. So, let me call up my Chrome and get this done. Here we are. We have, oh boy, my sincere apologies. I'm trying not to slaughter anybody's name. As stated, Yoshodan Barange, and I'm very sorry about that, and you are correct in many, many ways, but thank you. And Denial, thumbs up. And DJ The Hunt, thumbs up and thank you. Kieran Metallica fan, thumbs up and thank you. Bailey Snyder, greatly appreciated. And Confused Owl 29, thumbs up. Sebastian Ferris, greatly appreciated. Shviko, thumbs up and thank you. Colin Reisner, greatly appreciated. Richard Jones, thumbs up. We have movie trailers, greatly appreciated. Native, thumbs up. We have James, greatly appreciated. There is Yobanga, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. And Paladin Wallium, greatly appreciated. Russian Timing, thumbs up and thank you very much. Clemson Dillon, greatly appreciated. Joe Duffy, thank you very, very much. Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. Some guy named Jamie, thank you very, very much. We have Aeon Grimes, thumbs up. I'm Demon, well, hey, thumbs up and thank you. Jimmy Wild, greatly appreciated. And that's it, 23 comments. Thank you so very much. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. It is appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. Thank you so very, very much. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com. If you could become a GoFundMe campaign contributor or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. If you wanted to help support me, but didn't want to send money to one of those two places, I have a PayPal link down below. I also have a fly floating around in the room. Thumbs up for that. If you could check that out, the PayPal link down below, very cool. If you wanted to help support me but didn't want to send money, I also have an Amazon wish list link down below with things like hamster food, hamster bedding, cat food. If you could check it out, that would be very awesome. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them on the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. My hand gestures are all off, and so now I'm like, am I saying things right? Thumbs up for that. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And of course, if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell. Oh my god, that was terrible. Hit that bell Much better, much more rolling tones. That would be very cool, greatly appreciated. Again, I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Definitely a thumbs up. One of the things that's actually kind of a weird gesture, because when you in sign language, that's the future and that's the past. But this is like an L for later. So pointing to the future with an L means later. I guess that does mean later. You're going to do it later in the future. But I'm not talking about something that's done later. I'm talking about the end of time. And so that really doesn't fit. Anyway, though, thumbs up for that. So I've got this video that you've been watching. Hopefully, again, if you have been watching it without watching, listening to it without listening to it, and yet you've been sitting and staring, you may have an underlying medical issue. But I do have this video, another video to edit and render, hopefully something to record, edit, and render. Definitely a thumbs up. Hey, you gotta stay busy. It's a good thing. So, even though I forgot to change that again, my sincere apologies. Still, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. Shake my head all around.